I want to give you 5 reasons in our immediate context that argues for a specific atonement. Number 1, in chapter 1, verse 3, it talks about Jesus made purification for sin. And this is important, and I hope I'm explaining it well, and I hope you understand it. But what Scripture is saying is when Jesus died on the cross, sin was dealt with. Sin was taken out of the way. It was purified. All right. Jesus doesn't die for sin that doesn't get forgiven. Not according to these words. When he had made purification of sin, that is a completed action in the Greek. When he had made purification from sin, he sat down at the right hand of majesty on high. And that's the second reason why I believe this is specific, is this book constantly talks about the high priestly work of Christ. And when this book compares the work of Christ with the work of the Levitical priesthood, the Levitical priest was never described as sitting down. The high priest is never described as sitting down because sitting down is a euphemism for my job's done. No, even when we get to chapters 8 and 9 and we talk about the Day of Atonement, year after year after year after year, it had to be repeated. Jesus sat down because Jesus' sacrifice actually brought about real atonement. Number 3, the words that refer to believers in this book. Believers are called brethren. Believers are called children whom God has given to Christ in chapter 2, verse 13, which mirrors John chapter 6. Go home and read John chapter 6 today. Jesus, when he's teaching about his death, he says that the Father, whoever the Father gives me, those I will save. And nobody snatches out of my hands whom the Father has given me. And in this book, it's the same words. We're described as those whom the Father has given him. And then in chapter 2, verse 10, it talks about his death bringing many sons to glory. And again, the way this is written, the way the grammar is written, this is accomplished work. It's going to happen. He will bring many sons to glory. 4th reason why I believe it's specific is in chapter 2, verse 14, it talks about death and the devil being rendered powerless. Now, we're talking spiritual death here. Obviously, physical death continues to take place. I believe someday that will come to an end. I believe that's what Paul teaches in 1 Corinthians 15. But right now the focus is on spiritual death. And spiritual death has been rendered powerless. Those for whom Christ died, once they come to faith, I know it plays out in time, but once they come to faith, they're not spiritually dead anymore. That's what this book is communicating. And last but not least, propitiation. We're taught in verse 17 that Jesus makes propitiation for the sins of his people.